Hey everyone, it's McKeown back again with another vlog. This is actually going to be all in one day. Today is a crazy day. We've got 3 closings. If you've been following me, you know I have a house now for sale that I lived in and I rented it out. Well, I tried to be cheap through various aspects of remodeling that house, and because of that, I trusted a friend of a friend. The friend was a Marine, and his friend was an individual that had served in the Army, and just having that level of trust with veterans, I went ahead and trusted him. Lo and behold, he just stole almost $15,000 from me. 2.5 years later, I still haven't learned that lesson. I went ahead and trusted a good friend of mine's family member, which I'm still great friends with them, but the individual family member gave me a good price on the bidding work for my new property. Well, lo and behold, about 1.5 months into remodeling it, I went ahead and fired him. So the update there is he tried to do some plumbing work, and the plumbing work turned into way too much plumbing. So instead, I have an actual plumbing crew out right now that's twice the price, but they're doing legitimate work. Because of having to fire my first contractor, yes, I'm gonna be over budget. There was also another expense or two that will kind of throw my numbers off a little bit, but I'll give you guys the full rundown later this afternoon. Just leave it as is and then do it. She'll get a check cut to her or something?
Yeah, I'll have him sign something when he comes in.
Okay. Thank you so much. 22, so next year. You can totally forget about it right now. Forget about everything I'm saying, because I'm going to remind you anyways, okay? But just giving you a heads up, at the beginning of the year, I'm going to reach out to everyone I helped this year that purchased a house and say, hey, make sure you have like through April. Okay, so don't, January 1, like have it a reminder on your, I'll remind you plenty of times to where, hey, if you take 4 months to apply, like basically just fill out a piece of paper. That's what it is. So if it takes you 4 months, I mean, you're just gonna pay more in taxes, is really what it is. To be honest with you, most of, the people that we're helping are in their 20s or 30s. If you have any questions along the way too, just reach out. I have plenty of people. I know it's new construction and I know you have a warranty, but if there is something like you were mentioning the backsplash, right? If you want me to, yeah, if you want me to get you someone to go, do your backsplash for you or something, like I've got contractors and whatnot that could come out or you can YouTube it and try it yourself, whatever you want.
Definitely not. I'm scared of like pulling the wall off.
Yeah. So you're gonna have some demo there just because it's backsplash, but demo, repair, and then relay your backsplash. But if anything else, I've got people that can do work for whatever you want. So just keep me in mind. Yeah, keep me in mind, all right? But I'll see you in, 1 o'clock or what time are we meeting down there? We are about 20 minutes early to my second closing of the day. We've got 1 more to go. This one just so happens to be one of the largest closings ever as a licensed real estate agent over the past 4 years. But I did want to give you guys just kind of a quick update. I did a video at the beginning of the year that was just telling you guys what my goals were for the year. I like to be able to look back on that and kind of see where I am in terms of what I'm trying to do, the goals that I'm trying to achieve. And I can say first things first, at the beginning of the year, I brought on a new business manager. Business manager at the time, I did have a videographer and still do have a videographer on staff, but she was my second full-time employee, unless you're including my transaction coordinator, who's a 1099 employee. But really the first full-time employee that I was bringing on that's gonna really help me leverage and build my business. Her name is Jazz, and she's been nothing but perfect for the job. She lives and breathes real estate and KMAC Realty Group, and I absolutely love all the work that she's done so far. And I actually brought on my first licensed agent about a month ago, and he has 2 houses under contract, and I'm actually bringing on 2 more agents onto the team that are past clients that have turned into actually some really great friends of mine. So my goal for 2021 was to have 3 to 5 agents on my team. With the 2 new agents coming onto the team, I've already hit my bottom end of that goal. And I do want my agents to do about 40 transactions. I'll be honest with you, I was hoping to have agents on a little bit sooner, but everything honestly has worked out perfectly. So in order to have my agents do about 40 deals for the rest of the year, they're gonna have to have about 3 transactions a month a piece moving forward for the rest of the year. Now that's certainly going to be a good amount of transactions for new agents, and I'm still likely to bring on probably a couple more agents by the end of the year. So I think I still can hit that 40 transactions and meet that goal that I had. I also had a goal of 250 agents on my revenue share stream. If you don't know what revenue share stream is, it's essentially incentivizing real estate agents to grow the company that I work for. So if I bring in someone to my company, they can actually continue to grow the company themselves, and it will continue to build my organization. And my goal this year was 250 agents. I'm sitting currently at 153 with a couple big agents coming in July. So I'm probably just on pace to hit 250. To give you guys even more insight on that, my goal is to get my revenue share or my organization from building the company to really pay all of my expenses for my real estate company. A lot of what real estate agents and real estate companies don't show you is their P&L, their profit and loss, really how much it costs to run this type of business. And a lot of people say it's great money, which I'll be completely honest with you, it's tremendous money. But at the end of the day, you have to be smart with your finances and smart with your expenses. Otherwise, you will not stay in this business long. So the goal again is to have that completely cover all of my expenses. That way, any of the transactions that my agents do or any transactions that I do, I'm able to reinvest into myself or into my company and continue to grow even faster than most real estate companies out there. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into this house and do our final walkthrough, head to closing afterwards, and get on with our day. All right guys, we are back in my property. If you've been following my journey, this property actually took me over a year to close on. Closed on it about 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half. I went ahead and hired someone that I put a little bit too much trust in and didn't get enough work done. He said he had a full crew to help with all of the work. Lo and behold, a month and a half into the work, he didn't have a crew. He hired an after-person plumber who now I find out wasn't even doing a majority of the plumbing correctly. The first thing that had to be done was a majority of the entire house had to be redone foundation-wise. Then, because of how much foundation work there was to do, I also had to pay someone else to come out here and actually fill in the gap between the foundation of the house and actually the dirt underneath the house, which cost me another $4,000 or $5,000 that I wasn't planning on doing. And I paid about $7,500 for plumbing initially. Well, that's a complete waste of money because that's having to be all redone. And I'll kind of walk you through, but first things first, definitely have found my go-to plumber now. He's actually been doing a bunch of work on all of my properties, and this is the largest job he's done. This is actually costing me about $13,000. So all in all, I'm at $20,000 for plumbing, another $7,500 for foundation, another $5,000 for filling underneath the foundation. So just plumbing and foundation alone, I'm over $30,000 in rehab. So to run you guys quickly through what I'm thinking here, honestly, I'm gonna hold this property forever, especially because all the foundation is done, all of the plumbing from top to bottom is done. I'm not going to really have any incentive to do all this work and then turn around and sell it and give it to someone that's going to be able to take advantage of essentially a brand new home. So first things first, all of the plumbing PVC has been replaced here. Also walking into the kitchen here, we've got more PVC as well as PEX being implemented here. That's actually going to run through the attic rather than run through the foundation itself. All, copper runs through the foundation, so rather than pulling up the foundation, we're just going to run our new water lines through the attic. And because there are 3 bathrooms in this house, there's quite a bit of plumbing work to do. So coming over here into the first bathroom, there's actually a PVC pipe that needs to be replaced. This was something that wasn't caught previously from another plumber. Thankfully, I'm paying someone who is a legitimate plumber, because all of this, had it been done previously by the wrong person, would have been an absolute headache moving forward. Now, I did pay about $7,000 or $7,500 for the previous individual to do plumbing work because he wasn't super knowledgeable with plumbing. If the plumber didn't show up, he went ahead and just did handyman work. So in this room, we went ahead and got rid of the large kind of storage, old school storage here, as well as some of the trim work. He went ahead and retextured and painted. A lot of this room is just about done, outside of maybe a new lighting fixture and finishing up a few last minute items. Also coming down this hallway, this was another hallway or another aspect that they did do. So I guess I didn't technically lose, a full $7,000 and got nothing out of it, but all the plumbing work basically has to be redone. So this hallway, again, repainted, retextured. A lot of the trim work needs to be touched up and painted, but again, it's stuff that at least is somewhat completed. All right, moving into the other bathroom. There, again, is 3 bathrooms in this house. All of the PVC, again, is being replaced. All of the PEX is being actually ran through. It's currently not, but it's going to be ran through the attic. That's actually why the sheetrock is cut and why there's 2 drilled holes going through the attic, because everything will be gone through the attic versus gone through the foundation. Because really, the last plumbers that did it, all they did was cut the top of the copper pipe and then just replace it with PEX. So any of the copper that actually wound up having issues, you're still going to have to tear up the foundation and address, or like what they're doing here, run it through the attic. So moving into the master, which is the biggest project of them all. I know that the outside is done, which is a big step towards completing the plumbing, meaning that they went ahead and filled the holes that were created from the last plumber, and I'll show you guys what I'm referring to there. But they're saying probably Thursday completion, and it's Friday, so about a week more of work. Plumbing will be done, and I'm actually going to go ahead and use this plumber to go ahead and GC the rest of the work, because he has guys that will complete the rest of the house at a fair price versus taking another 2 months to essentially do nothing. I think you guys have seen all of the previous work that's been done here. This is all dug up from foundation, but if you actually go to the side of the house here, you can see that there's 2 cleanouts right here. 2 days ago, this was all dug up and not really ran in terms of PVC pipe. This is all covered now because the PVC pipe is completed, moving all the way over to where the piping is actually coming out of the master bathroom. Right on this wall is where the master bathroom is, and it actually needs to be kind of set a little bit more. Also with rain too, this is all gonna sink, so it's technically above the level of where the grass is at, but all this will sink, especially when we get some rain, which in Texas may not be anytime soon. Actually, it may be tomorrow, you never know. Now, also another thing too that he mentioned, which again, a guy that had really no clue and I shouldn't have hired from day one, didn't even mention and probably wouldn't have even known, is this gas line needs to be replaced. Another cost that I didn't really anticipate here. Fortunately enough, this property has such a large margin of repair costs that I knew initially when I was thinking $35,000 to $40,000 in rehab, and I'm already at 30, that even if I'm going upwards of $60,000 in rehab cost, I'm still gonna own this property outright for completely $0 out of pocket. So plumbing again should be done in about a week. I'm gonna meet with him actually in a few days with Jazz, my business manager, to help with translation regarding the rest of the house in terms of what labor costs will be. To finish the rest of the house, I'm thinking and hoping for maybe a month tops. Right now we're rolling into July, first week of July. So hope and expectation, and I think I said from the start, was to have it rented out by August. It may be on the market in August, it may not necessarily be rented out in August, but I do have flexibility with the money I'm being lent, and then moving forward, get this place rented out and start cash flowing. So more of the story, guys, and it's something I've already learned and I'm having to learn again, is try to work simply with subs if you can. This was actually a good contact from a good friend of mine, and he's someone that has already done work on other properties of mine that have had some plumbing issues. Had him over here. Yes, it is going to be costly, but it's something I'm probably never gonna have to worry about with this property again. And on top of that, he does have other connections as well that'll be able to get me a good price on remodeling the rest of the house, but as well as doing a good job, which was the issue with the previous contractor. So I connected with him, and obviously he is a plumber. He's here hands-on doing the work himself, but he's also the person I'm directly paying, who he then is paying the other individuals that he has out here, versus just paying someone a good amount of money and they don't even really know what to do. Thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help. And stay tuned for more updates on this property that I'm remodeling, as well as the property that I remodeled a couple years back that I just put on the market, hoping to have that thing under contract by the end of the week, and then moving forward towards purchasing my first commercial property. Bam!